How are you doing? I haven't seen y'all in a minute. It's been a while. I hope that everything is well with everybody. And if you're new, welcome to the channel. My name is Tyson. So I talk about personal development and manifestation and all types of good stuff that just really helps us to become our authentic selves and grow. So if you like that, stay tuned for today's video because today we're talking about how the hell do you get yourself back to happiness after you went through so many traumatic experiences in your life? Because many of us, truth be told, have a very hard time getting back to being happy, honestly, getting back to joy, getting back to excitement after going through some really stressful situations in life. So I want to encourage you today to just reflect, sit back, relax, chill. Don't take this too serious, but I want to help you get back to your happiness because we all deserve to feel good. We all deserve to be happy. We all deserve to feel more relaxed and get out of that damn survival mode that we don't need to be in no more. So if you like the vibe so far, make sure you like this video and let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is trauma and what that even is to begin with. Okay, so there's many different forms of trauma. So there's like trauma from maybe a accident that you've been in, God forbid. Okay, it could be trauma from a relationship. This could be from a breakup. This could be from a divorce. This could be from maybe a best friend that you had that you guys are no longer friends. This could come from even old versions of yourself that you used to be. Okay. And then there's like, other forms of trauma that have to do with like SA. Okay. That is unfortunate that a lot of people go through abuse like that, but there's all different forms of that. Okay, and then there's uh, usually this happens with family, so we have a lot of emotional abuse, physical abuse. Okay, uh, psychological abuse, sometimes even financial abuse. It just depends on whatever your situation was. Okay, another form or the last form is in school. Okay, a lot of people go through bullying and things that are very, very unfair, and it's not right at all. So that's what I want to talk about today. And I feel like you going through that does not make you a weak person. For somebody like myself, I've gone through a lot of emotional and mental abuse with certain things and certain situations. And I've had to really rewire my brain and rewire my body and my mind so that I'm not believing the things that were said about me that were ultimately not true. Okay. And one of the best things you can do to get yourself to be happy and coming out of trauma is to go through this thing called neuroplasticity. Now, what neuroplasticity is it is a practice, but it's a form of changing the brain waves in your brain, essentially just changing your mindset. Okay. It's changing the neurochemical pathways in your brain. So that way, whatever you were told that made you feel negative, bad, sad, you can turn those things around to something more positive. So let's say you were maybe told in a relationship that you were in that you were never going to find a better relationship than that person. Well, that's obviously not true. Okay. Even though in your feelings of that experience, it could feel like it was true because that could have been your crush from high school. And maybe you guys dated for 4 years after high school and you thought he was the one and then he turned out to not be, right? And then you might have all these feelings of, damn, maybe he was right because now I'm single and I'm back out in the dating world and it's challenging for me, or I don't feel attractive. Okay, so these are all things that sometimes if you've dealt with other people who have been disrespectful or who put you down in some kind of way, you have to do some work to rewire your brain. So this could look like sometimes meditation, journaling. I talk to myself out loud a lot. I will have a thought and I'll literally have conversations with that thought to rewire myself to be like, okay, I get why I feel this way, but these thoughts are not my own. I have a couple of videos that I have down on my channel where I've talked about rewiring the brain and the subconscious mind and reprogramming your mind. Um, because those were experiences where I talk about some things that I've went through with family, some stuff that I've went through with myself, self-doubt, and just realizing like a lot of these things that we hear about ourselves that are negative things are a lot of times from experiences that we've had, and they are from versions that we don't even behave like anymore. They are from other people that maybe didn't have the courage to want to see you the way that you could see yourself. And this isn't about blaming other people or wanting other people to take accountability and tell you what it is that you want to hear. It's actually about you being the bigger person in your own life, being the big boss, and deciding I'm not going to allow what other people say about me to interfere with who I am and who I am becoming and who I want to be in my life. Okay. So that's a really big thing. The next thing that I want to talk about is letting go of the things that people say about us, because I think that can really hinder us from finding the joy that we have within ourselves. And when we start letting go of these voices, we start doing the inner work, like I said, the journaling, the meditating, talking to yourself, to get those old wounds recognized, because we have to be aware of what was said to us and how we were treated. Now we can move into the next step, which would be actually removing it. And this kind of takes time, but this is kind of the same thing of like what I was talking about before, but that was more of like the deeper work. This is more so of once you start doing a lot of that deeper work, you start to get to a place where when you're triggered by something, when you have sad emotions or something comes up that makes you feel uncomfortable, you're able to instead react to those emotions. You're able to process them more calmly. And you can start again speaking to yourself or whatever works for you to let those things go. Okay. Um, the next thing is talking to people. Okay. Talking to people that make you feel safe, right? So we went down the process of neuroplasticity and rewiring our brain and doing the little tactics and the resources that we can use to better ourselves. Then we moved into when those little triggers come up. We've done a lot of the deep work, so now we can kind of move through those emotions and those feelings a little bit easier without having to react. The next thing is finding a community. All right, so this can start by watching videos like this, right? Commenting under other people's comments and asking questions, because I always respond to comments as best as I can. Um, Getting help online first if you can't find people around you, because this is how it kind of started for me in my healing journey. I had to start watching other creators that inspired me, but also that I was interested in listening to and watching in order for me to feel safe enough to start wanting to talk to like real people in the real world. So finding resources online, okay, getting into therapy can also help if you can afford it, or if that's available to you and you're ready for that. Another thing would be people that you feel safe with. Okay, sometimes this can look like mutuals. Sometimes I know for me in the beginning of all of this, I didn't feel comfortable talking to friends yet. Um, and it took me some time to figure out who can I talk to, because a lot of what I ended up doing was I ended up praying a lot, and I ended up asking the universe, asking God, whatever you believe in, if that's your thing, um, asking the universe for help. Okay, asking my ancestors for help, because I got to a point where I really didn't trust people. Let's just be real. I did not have a lot of faith in expressing things to uh, people very close to me. So, best friends, family, people like that. And I didn't really feel comfortable going into spaces where I was kind of new. There was a lot of stuff that I had to work through. And now I'm at a point where I feel like my heart is very much healed and open to learning how to trust that people that I meet that are new, especially complete strangers, are not going to treat me the ways that I was treated at home. Okay. Um, and by the people around me, which most of the time, when you're going through these experiences, a lot of the times, because we have trauma from a partner that we were with, or our parents, or school, or best friends, or whatever it is, sometimes when we're asking for new relationships and new connections, it can be very hard for the trauma brain to not take over the new person that you're practicing to become. And that's why you're watching this video, because you know that you want to become a better person. So, yeah, finding community, finding people that you could talk to that can help you feel seen. Okay, one of the things that I do really well with is I'm very, very aware of myself and what things I've gone through. And I always try to make sure that I'm connected to people who are in resonance with the things that I've experienced, because it's always good to talk to people that sometimes are in the same situation that you're in, or who have gotten themselves out of that situation. Because depending on where you are in your healing, sometimes you just need people to talk to, and then sometimes you need people to talk to that can help you to get a solution out of that. Um, and so wherever you're at, just gauge that. Like, are you in a season where you need just somebody to vent to? You need somebody to cry to? You need just to explain your emotions to somebody? Or are you in a situation where you already did the venting, you already did all the explanation, and now you're looking for resources and steps to get you to the other side? So that's a big thing, right? So the steps that we've gone through so far, just to clarify, is we're going to first go through the neuroplasticity, rewiring the brain. The second thing is when those little traumas come up, we can now actually feel into our emotions, except instead of running away from those things or making a big story about it. We can just let it pass. And then now we're talking about community. And the next thing is the fun part. Okay. And this is about freedom. All right. This is kind of the last step, because this is when you really are free and you found your support system. Your heart is now open, and now you're ready to get back out into the world. You're ready to be yourself unapologetically. And this is the stage of where I feel like I'm at right now. I'm still kind of in, learning how to be open to new people come into my life, be open to new opportunities and new experiences, especially when it comes to, like I said, new people and new things. Uh, Heavy on the new people, though. um, this is the most liberating part of this exercise, if you will, because this is the time where you start to manifest a lot of good stuff. Okay. You might be a person who sees like a lot of angel numbers. You might be a person who has a lot of synchronistic messages. This is all the good shit. Okay. This is all the stuff that you've been wanting for a long time coming into materialization. And this is kind of the happiness that you're kind of getting. You start to feel like, you got your mojo back. You start to feel like, I'm a brand new person. There's brand new possibilities. You might be like, for me, I've been meditating a lot. I've been praying a lot. I have almost like this taking calculated risks, but also like this fearlessness about me. And I'm just having a lot of fun with my life. And I'm more confident with myself. So one of the things that I was going through a lot was, I felt like I was going through a season where I was less confident in myself when I decided that I wanted to choose my own decisions of like what I wanted to do with myself, with my life, with my path, with certain um, opportunities that I want to open up for myself, especially when it came to like making money and um, I'm such an extroverted person and I love to entertain people. And I think that I love being in front of a camera. I love creating content. I just want to get into something that is like bigger than me, right? And there were some other people around me that didn't have the same opinions, and I just was like, I'm not going to let that stress me out. And for the first time, I feel like I'm really, I wouldn't say for the first time, I feel like I'm just like, I don't give a F now. Now I'm like, I'm going to have fun. And that's the root of what I want in my life. Because if y'all know me, if you've been watching for a long time, if you've ever followed me on my other socials, or you know me personally, you know that I've been a stressed out man for a long time. And I have been a people pleaser at different times in my life. I had just, really shut down anything that I wanted. And I always was focusing on what other people wanted me to do, or I felt like I had this assumption that I was supposed to be doing these other things. And I'm not there anymore. And I feel like there's so much possibility, and I'm just so excited for like what the universe is going to bring next, because it's been so much fun stuff. Like, random friends that I haven't spoken to in a really long time will text me, right, at just random moments. People will send me messages. Like, I had somebody sent me a text last week that I don't hardly ever talk to. I probably haven't talked to him in over like a year. And he was like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm proud of you. Mind you, I haven't spoken to him in a long time, like at all. So stuff like that just happens. So as you go through these stages of healing your trauma, healing your past stuff, these things start to happen for you. So if you're not there yet and you're watching this and you're like, damn, Tyson, I wish I could get there. You, by the fact that you're just watching this, you're already starting the cycle. No matter what stage or chapter you're in all of this, you are definitely creating and manifesting something new, great, and different. Um, it doesn't happen overnight. It took me years and years and years to get here. It took me through a lot of feeling, um, neglected, not heard, not validated, disrespected, put down. I went through a lot of bawling my eyes out, crying, like prayers and conversations with the universe, with God, that many people don't even know about. Conversations with friends that family members don't know about. You know what I mean? Like, conversations with myself that I have never even admitted to people close to me, feelings that I've had that I've never admitted to people close to me. So what I'm saying is, these things, it's a process. It's a whole experience. You don't just, get here one day and then you're there the next day. And then the other thing is that it flip-flops sometimes. Sometimes you can feel on top of the world today, and tomorrow I can feel a little bit, down, but I know how to work through these feelings now, and I'm not afraid. I don't have any fear around uh, heavy emotions, intense emotions. In fact, this past weekend, if y'all are into astrology, we just had a full moon in Virgo, and we had like some type of eclipse or something that happened, and that was very intense for me. And sometimes it's not even about the moon and the star stuff, but it is just when I have these emotions that are really intense, because I'm very sensitive to emotions of my own, sometimes other people. That's gotten better at over time, but mostly within myself. And sometimes those things can be very strong, sometimes they're not. But the point is you are doing a great job no matter where you are on this journey. And just know that if you're watching this, that means that you're closer to getting out of whatever stuff you've gone through. Okay. And especially for those that are dreamers, let's just talk creatively for a minute. I know some of you have dreams, have passions. You're working through things that maybe nobody in your family has done. Maybe you have some friends that are doubting you. Maybe you have other people who want you to focus on other things instead of what you really love and what you're passionate about and what you want to feel fulfilled by. And I just want to say, first of all, never mind other people. Second of all, focus on yourself. And third of all, give yourself grace. Okay. I think a lot of us right now, with everything that's been happening in the world economically, um, the pressures of, if you were like me, if you go back in my videos, I have a video of me talking about my college journey, talking about a lot of the things that I've gone through. And it ain't always easy, okay? It can be very traumatic, it can be very hard. But I promise you that if you keep going, you will see this side. You will get to this point. And sometimes that means you're going to have to make people upset. You're going to have to disappoint people. You're going to have to be in a place where you feel guilt or shame because of what you've spoken up for within yourself. And that's sometimes really hard because we don't want to disappoint people, or we might not want to be seen as the person who's mean or who's being rude. But sometimes you have to not, don't be rude on purpose, but sometimes you got to take it there. You got to take it there with people. You got to tell folks what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. You have to tell yourself what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. You need to act in a way of what you know you need to do rather than who you think you need to please. Okay. And do it, because you're going to liberate yourself and you're going to move through these experiences, and um, you're going to prevail. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. Okay. So be kind to yourself. This journey is interesting, but you can make it out. And congratulate yourself for when you do find those big wins, when you find those small wins, when you find those medium wins. They all matter. Okay. So I hope you got something from today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you smash the like button. Leave a comment down below in the little comment section, because I want to hear your thoughts about what things are you coming out of? What traumas are you coming out of? Are you at the stage of where freedom is, or are you at the stage of first going through all this inner work and the deepness and the shadow work and the heavy emotions? Are you in the middle where you're kind of just feeling through the feelings and letting them go, but you're not exactly at that place of feeling free yet? I would be curious to hear what you have to say. Also, all my socials are down below. And if you are interested, I do have a free ebook that's helping you to discover your purpose in life. I wrote this ebook like 5 years ago. It was like back in 2020 during the pandemic shutdown and stuff. And I just wanted to write it just to kind of like share my story. If you don't know who I am, it's completely free. So you can download it. It shares some of the journeys that I've gone through to how I even started to create videos. I think I did mention some people that I've looked up to or inspired by, and just some stuff that I've went through in my own childhood that had me traumatized that I've grown out of today. And also, feel free to watch another video, whichever one pops up, or whatever one is on the little side, with the upcoming videos. If you like this channel, I highly would love the support, because it will help my channel out a lot. And without further ado, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.